Gene and I had known each other for a long time, but we had never worked together. He was also in a good mood. He says, "I don't want to draw any more violent things. I'm worn out." Gene Hackman was a rare gem in Hollywood that was taken away. Hackman and Eastwood had worked together on movies and in movies for years. Even so, there was a silence that suggested stories that weren't being told and problems that hadn't been fixed. Clint Eastwood, the steely movie star, has finally decided to talk about his longtime friend and sometimes foe. What could have caused this one-of-a-kind moment of honesty? As the movie business thinks about Hackman's impact, Eastwood's words could bring to light a story that has been kept secret. It's possible that the truth is more shocking than anyone thinks. Famous actors like Clint Eastwood and Gene Hackman are well known in the movie business for their amazing skills and memorable roles. They were in two well-known movies together, Unforgiven and Absolute Power. This movie came out in 1992 and starred Eastwood as a former gunslinger named William Money. Many people think of this movie as a classic in the Western genre because it shows life in the Old West in a more complicated and gritty way. Little Bill Daggett, played by Gene Hackman, is a cruel sheriff who does what he thinks is right. How they communicate is very important, making the moral issue and the effects of killing stand out. Absolute Power, the second movie, came out in 1997 and is a really exciting political thriller directed by Eastwood. Eastwood plays Luther Whitney in this movie. Whitney is a skilled thief who accidentally sees a crime involving high-level government officials. The president, played by Gene Hackman, makes the story more tense. Their roles in both movies show how versatile they are as actors and how well they can work together on screen. People will remember the scenes that Eastwood and Hackman make for a long time. Both movies are must-sees for movie fans because of how well they work together and how well they told stories. Off-screen, these movies help them become good friends and co-workers. Because of this, Clint Eastwood knows a lot about Gene Hackman, but hasn't said anything. But now that Gene has died, Clint has broken his quiet. What did he tell you? Let's learn about Clint Eastwood first. It was the Great Depression when Clint Eastwood Jr. was born in San Francisco, California, on May 31, 1930. Hillary Eastwood saw and Margaret Ruth had him. Since the family was having a hard time with money because of the Great Depression, his father had to move around looking for work. The family finally settled down in Oakland, California, and Eastwood spent most of his youth there. The Hollywood Reporter says that Eastwood's early life was full of ups and downs, which helped him become independent very fast. He is quiet and tall, and he has always been that way. Nonetheless, he wasn't particularly good at school. Eastwood was known for being defiant, and skipping school at times made him happy. He liked being outside more than being stuck in class all day. Eastwood's rough image came from the troubled times he went through as a child. Also, seeing how hard his parents worked made him almost feel like he had to stop being lazy. Though he has a body for the screen, he doesn't understand this for a long time. Imagine that you had a body that could very well make you a lot of money, but you wanted something else, because everyone was making fun of it. At some point, he started to love his body and started working out. This way of life helped him get jobs in the movie business. People didn't hand Eastwood his fame. He went through a lot of twists and turns to get to where he is now. He did different odd jobs to make money after high school. Some examples of these low-level jobs are being a lumberjack, a steel worker, or even an army swimming teacher. In his early years, Eastwood did any job that was offered to him, but that's not all. He would eat anything that would keep him warm and fed. Esquire said that he was known to get his hands dirty by doing hard physical work that won him respect but not fame or money. Eastwood's path to Hollywood wasn't planned like that of many of his acting school classmates. He was 6 feet 4 inches tall and had a rough, rugged look that caught the eye of Universal Studios, who hired him in 1955. As you might guess, his first few parts were not very exciting, and people often said bad things about his acting. He did his best for someone who didn't have any training. Variety said that his early tries were not very impressive. Still, Eastwood's drive helped him keep going. His first few jobs were mostly small parts in movies that not many people saw. Good thing they were just enough to give him a taste of the business. Despite the complaints, Eastwood built up a thick skin and got better over time. He made a big splash when he got the part of Rowdy Yates in the 1951 TV western Rawhide. Eastwood's stern personality, sharp eyes, and natural love for cowboy parts were all on full display in this role. The New York Times says that Eastwood's role as Rowdy Yates helped him create the revered, silent, but dangerous character that would become his signature. Rawhide ran for a few years, and Eastwood became very famous, which made his name well known. But that was only the beginning. Hollywood finally paid attention to Eastwood because of his no-nonsense charm and amazing screen presence. Finally, Sergio Leone's Dollars series in the 1960s was his big break in movies. It all began in 1964 with A Handful of Dollars. People around the world knew Eastwood from these movies, which were called spaghetti westerns. His portrayal of the man with no name as a new type of hero, one who was morally murky and very mysterious, was praised by Time magazine. Through the end of the 1960s, Eastwood had proven himself to be a capable actor with a unique style. Young Eastwood had a hard time and didn't know what he wanted to do with his life. He went on to become a big star in Hollywood, known for being tough and strong. His early problems and unique style helped shape the traits and personality that would later make him successful on and off the screen. Eastwood switched from playing to directing in the early 1970s. His drive to do this was just as strong as it had been during his playing career. Play Misty for Me, his first movie as a director, came out in 1971. Good reviews were given to this psychological movie, which showed how good he was as a director. But his full fame didn't become clear until he directed Unforgiven in 1992. He was linked to Hackman by this powerful movie. And believe me, he can't get over how well they get along that quickly. His career took off after this movie, but did he stop? No way, buddy. He directed the movie Western and also acted in it. He won the Academy Awards for Best Picture and Best Director for this work. His popularity in Hollywood grew so much that the New York Times called Unforgiven one of the finest westerns ever made. With praise like this from major news outlets, Eastwood quickly became known as a versatile actor and director. With movies like $1 Million Baby in 2004, he continued to get good reviews. The project became a hit right away. He won more Oscars for it. In 2008, 4 years later, he made another hit movie called Gran Torino. Eastwood has won a lot of awards and praise over the course of his career. For example, he has won 4 Academy Awards and been nominated for many more. Besides that, he has won a lot of important awards, like the Irving G. Thalberg Memorial Award for his work in movies. Esquire gives him praise and calls him a Hollywood legend, praising how long he has been in the business and how much he has changed. What does he know about Gene Hackman now? Come on, let's find out more about the movie star first. Hackman. Eugene Allen Hackman was an actor from the United States. Hackman was an actor for more than 40 years and is known as one of the best of his generation. Do you know Gene Hackman? If so, you've met Superman. Scary Movie Lilith was Hackman's first one with a title line. His first award was for Best Actor for his role as Jimmy Popeye Doyle in William Friedkin's action movie, The French Connection. His second award was for Best Supporting Actor for his role as a bad guy sheriff in Clint Eastwood's Western Unforgiven. He was up for an Oscar for his roles as Buck Barrow in Bonnie and Clyde and as a college professor in I Never Sang for My Father, and an FBI agent in the movie Mississippi Burning, which is based on real events. Gene Hackman is famous for playing many roles and making them interesting. His most famous part was as Lex Luthor in the Superman TV series from 1978 to 1987. His role as the criminal genius opposite Christopher Reeve's Superman was one of the most important in the history of comic book movies. Hackman became a memorable bad guy who gave a character that was usually thought of as one-dimensional more depth. Hackman had a great film career in the 1970s and 1980s, in addition to his work in the Superman series. He played the lead role in the exciting disaster movie, The Poseidon Adventure, which wowed audiences with its captivating plot and large cast. Together with Al Pacino, he played a drifter in the movie Scarecrow, which was about 2 people who are having deep problems. Hackman's wide range of talents shone in Francis Ford Coppola's film The Conversation. In this movie, he played a master of spying who was torn between right and wrong. A lot of people liked the movie, and it made Hackman even more famous as a main actor of his time. He kept showing off how good he was at Night Moves, a neo-noir thriller that looked at difficult ideas like lying and betrayal. In 1977, he was in the historical war movie A Bridge Too Far, which was about Operation Market Garden during World War II. It brought to life the struggles and bravery of the troops who were part of it. Over the next 10 years, he worked on a number of important projects, including Under Fire, a tense and dangerous political news experiment, and Hoosiers, a beloved sports drama about a high school basketball team that tells a powerful story of an underdog. He wrote novels and plays in the 1990s as well. He played a smart lawyer in The Firm and a lawyer in Wyatt Earp, a movie based on the life of the famous lawman. In Crimson Tide, he was in charge of a submarine during a nuclear disaster, which showed how well he could deal with stressful circumstances. In the middle of the 1990s, he did very well. Get Shorty, a smart comedy about working in the movie business, and The Quick and the Dead, a western with a strong female lead played by Sharon Stone, are two movies that stand out. He even had a funny part in the movie The Birdcage, which was about a gay bar owner and his drag queen partner. It was about love and being okay with things. From the late 1990s to the early 2000s, Hackman kept people interested with roles in Absolute Power, Enemy of the State, and The Royal Tenenbaums. His depth as a person was shown in these movies. The last big movie role he had was in the courtroom film Runaway Jury, which showed how hard it is to trick a jury. He quit acting after he got the lead role in 2004's Welcome to Mooseport. He then turned to writing books, which gave him a new way to show his art. He also did voice work for a number of TV shows, which was a different way for him to use his speaking skills. He finally stopped being famous in 2017. Hackman's work, which was tough and skilled, has influenced many artists and made people laugh for generations. Hackman and Betsy Arakawa were discovered dead in their Santa Fe home on February 26th. The most important thing is what Eastwood said. How did he die in 2025? The Two Women is a book by Gene Hackman. During his wait for his big break, Hackman had a lot going on. He had to be away from people a lot, while he tried to make a name for himself, which hurt his connections. This is why his first marriage to a dead woman didn't work out. In 1955, when Gene was 25 years old and not feeling well, they met for the first time. The New York Times magazine said that the two met at a YMCA dance in New York City 19 years ago. Hackman met the pretty woman with dark hair at Rockefeller Center. Because there was no hot water in the city, they had a hard time as a young family. They lived in a cold water walk-up. The star did say, though, that making it big in movies and plays made him selfish. He told her, "You spend so many years desperately wanting to be seen as talented. Parts like this are hard to turn down." He also said, "Even though I had a family, I took jobs that would keep us apart for 3 or 4 months. I gave in to the urge, the money, and the attention because I felt like a poor boy. That was too much for me." His love of fame also stopped his kids from being a part of his life. He told GQ in 2011. When they asked him for help, he said, "I lost touch with my son early on about giving him advice. This could have been because when he was young, he was making movies all over the world and needed help and support. After 3 months away, it was hard to tell him what to do." Hackman stopped the marriage he was in before he met the person he loved. In California, he met his second wife at work, in a gym, part-time while they tried to make a living as string players. Some say she was born in Hawaii in the early 1960s. Hackman and Arakawa might not have had any kids together. He was married to Faye Maltese before and had 3 kids with her. She was their stepmother. Chris Allen, Leslie Ann, and Elizabeth Jean were their names. The star told the Irish Independent in 2000 that it's tough to be the child of a famous person. "When they were kids and lived in California, I couldn't always be with them.